Well, more than half of America's school children take the bus to school every day, and that's what makes images like these so horrifying for parents. 30 kids were on this bus in Kansas when the driver lost control. It slid down an embankment and then turned on its side. 20 people were taken to the hospital. Thankfully, they're all okay. But accidents like these make us all wonder, how safe is my kid's school bus? Christy, you've actually been looking into this. What have you found?
All righty. Well, the American School Bus Council, for one, Kira, says, I want you to take a look at this graphic here. See all these in yellow? That's 58% of the fatalities that happen on the way to school, and that happens when kids drive together, when you have a teen driver, so to speak. And then let's move over to the blue here. 23% happen when you, as a parent, drive your kids to school. Just 1%. See this little one down here? 1% of those fatal accidents involve school buses. So what we learned about safety features specifically are that, buses are built to withstand a crash and not collapse on impact. The reinforced sides are actually made of steel, which a lot of people will say we don't even have in cars these days. And look at that. Do you believe that? This is how they test what they call the crush standards. An 18-wheeler ramming into the side of the bus. Again, this did not actually happen as an accident. This was a test. But the thing is, in terms of other safety standards, I mean, the buses have stop sign arms, that now even have apparently extra mirrors on them here. They have cross mirrors and double stacked mirrors there you see on the side. And then some buses flash red lights now when they're slowing down, even before the driver stops fully. So there are, at least these are some of the most recent safety precautions in place that we discovered. But there are a lot of parents that say, you know what, this isn't enough. They're demanding seat belts in every school bus. So I'm curious what you all think about that, because I know you've got an opinion. There's a big debate about this.
Oh boy, there's pros and cons, right, guys?
There's a lot of pros and cons, and I can't even understand advocating against seatbelts. I don't see if there's anything to gain by not putting seatbelts. It seems like a win-win to me. There's less distraction from the driver. The driver's always looking in that mirror trying to make sure kids are where they're supposed to be. He or she doesn't have to do that if the kids are buckled up. The just wandering around the bus, like kids just getting up, going to the front, bullying, all of that subsides. Behavior is much better when you've got kids.
I never stayed seated on my school bus. I was all bumping around,
And
walking
look at you
around,
now,
jumping
Kira.
around.
Well,
Yeah,
look at you
seriously. So it's probably a better thing if I had a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Well, let me play a bit of devil's advocate for a moment before everybody starts the hate tweets or anything like that. I'm not against safety, but these school buses, as we've heard from Christy, they are specially designed with safety in mind. And it's a very, very small number of people that are injured or killed as a result, or kids, I should say. But ultimately, imagine this. Imagine those kids buckled in and there's a fire and those kids can't get out. You've got a bunch of panicked kids that are unable to get out of their seats to escape. So what we think may be adding to safety could be adding to the danger. The buckle could be used as a weapon. When we're talking about bullying and other activity between kids, you've got this object that's a hard, heavy object that's now attached to a belt. Tell me some bully can't use that. And at the end of the day, I think we're spending a lot of time solving the problem that isn't, rather than a problem.
Well, I'm still thinking about Christy's numbers, the fact that more kids are hurt when you're driving them to school versus being on a bus.
They're better on that big yellow thing.
All right, you heard the debate, the stats from our panel. There you go. How about you be the judge now? Should school buses have seat belts? Go ahead and tweet me at KiraHLN with the Raising America hashtag, or you can weigh in on Facebook.com/RaisingAmericaHLN. We'll have your viewer verdict later this hour. All right, yesterday's bus crash that we showed you video of got us thinking about the debate over seatbelts in school buses. And Darren, you played devil's advocate and said that kids could get trapped if there was an emergency.
Devil's advocate, not the devil. There's a difference.
There's a big difference. Dr. Tiff, you said it could be less distracting, for the driver and better for overall safety. Well, we found this video of what happens when children do and do not wear seatbelts when riding a bus. And take a look. It makes a pretty compelling argument for the case that all buses should be equipped with seat belts. We asked you to be the judge as well. Our viewer verdict is in. It was a landslide. 82% of you say put seat belts on the bus. Christy, you got 3 daughters. What do you think?
Oh,
she's got to think about this one.
I mean, the statistics, showed us that they do well anyway, but I am a seatbelt fan. I was in a car accident, but it was a car accident, and had I not been wearing my seatbelt, I probably would have died.
Yeah. And when you look at a video like that, how can you argue?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you how you can argue it. Still being a bit of a devil's advocate, here's how you argue. The statistics don't lie. And while that video is graphic and it makes you concerned, look, I'm a parent too. I'm concerned. But when you look at those statistics, that really tells the story of what's actually happening in the real world, not just on a video.
Then you throw in the whole, do you let them walk to school? And you have all those
scary,
you know, the worries about predators.
But remember, statistics also show us that the most dangerous time for kids disappearing is on the way to and from either school or the school bus. That's an entirely different conversation.
Bottom line here on Raising America, as parents, it is damn stressful.
Yes! Amen!